is good, Running Back Nation? It is your boy, DJ Eastwood, Running Back Philly. Hit the like button on this stream. That would help me out greatly. Hit the subscribe button if you're brand new and you like talking Philly sports almost every single day. I got the big STEPPA podcast in the house. We were calling this 4-point play because Tone DeShields was joining us. And it's 3-point play tonight because we don't know where Tone is at.
So good. He's a little wrapped up tonight. We'll get through.
Tone's busy, man. We're just gonna talk some Sixers and chill, read the chat, hang out, man, for a little while.
Sure.
As we get towards the end of the Sixers season, we've what's it been like 2 weeks since we've done this?
Just about, yeah. 2 weeks off, a little vacation.
Yeah, we were trying to do
from 4-point play anyway.
Yeah, we get caught up with is that Tone? We get caught up with the games on certain nights and when we can do it and things like that. So, but we're here, man. We got a lot to talk about because a couple of games that happened. Well, first of all, the Brooklyn Nets are getting smacked by the New York Knicks right now. I wasn't like I just happened to check the score of that, and now I just put it on my TV right here on my screen. They're down 71-50 in the third quarter with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant active and on the floor.
I mean, it's not a surprise just because of what just happened the other night when the same thing just happened. I mean, it's still surprising, but it's just like, damn.
To the Nets?
Yeah, the same thing just happened the other night. They lost with both of them in. They got smacked by. What did they get smacked by? I forgot.
The last one I saw they lost was against the Hawks on Saturday night.
Yeah, the Hawks, right.
I missed
they
that
lost
one.
to them. Yeah, they lost on that one with both of them. And
KD had his career high tonight too.
KD had a score. Yeah, he scored 55, right?
Yeah, 55. Yeah,
he scored 55 and wasn't enough. They still, the team is bad. Like it's what we've been saying since last year. It's still true. It's a top heavy team, really top heavy team, and it's like they're not performing well, man.
Yeah, the whole season I was like, ESPN every single day, like just there's a lot of strong teams, and every day they're just like, yeah, well, the Brooklyn Nets are gonna win everything, and I kept being like, what makes you say that, bro? Like we didn't even know they were gonna get Kyrie. That we didn't know the New York City was gonna pull some BS and like partially lift the mandate for athletes, but.
I mean, the way I see it now, definitely is like media is lost in like superstars. Like they're so fascinated with just sticking to the stars. I guess somewhere it tells them that's what people want to hear. They don't want to hear like think about it. We heard more about how the Lakers have been bombing than how the Suns have dominated 2 seasons in a row. Like nobody talk about how Devin Booker might be taking this team into a dynasty.
Yeah,
I mean, potentially, we're talking about how like LeBron and them are barely trying to make it to the 10th seed.
You're not wrong, bro. They're probably going to talk about the Lakers not making the playoffs for the next 2 months every day,
right?
All through the summer.
A lot of times, I try to think of like how they really like set up the business, and it's really like it's set up for a very casual fan that tunes in like once a day for like 30 minutes. You know what I mean?
Basically,
man gets before you leave for work or whatever, eating cereal, watching the TV or whatever. So it's like they want to just hit people with the mainstream stuff and keep the ratings. I guess that's what it is. I don't know, but yeah, they harped on the Brooklyn Nets all year, and this is just funny to me. This is funny to me. They're down. Come on, show me the score. 71-54. All right. But like just we lost the trade and we made them way too strong by giving them Andre Drummond and Seth Curry and all this. They just made them sound like unstoppable. And
I mean, I can't lie. I bored in a little bit too, especially when like them gaining stuff, like giving Ben Simmons was one of his favorite targets. But that's the thing, Ben never even played, so it's kind of like I never thought that we would have to look at it that way. I didn't when talking about who will win the trade, I didn't think it would actually come down to the fact that Ben Simmons still never played.
Yeah.
So now I have to recalibrate, even think because I thought he would at least touch the floor, and he never did. So I mean, clearly we won by default. But
it's not looking too good.
Yeah, that's actually amazing that he's not even playing the whole season, and he has apparently a herniated disc in his back. I just
From what?
I don't know.
What?
Bro, I feel like the Sixers weren't having it. Like, you know what I mean? He pulled the mental health card. He tried everything, and Daryl Morey was like, nah. It was probably Josh Harris. Josh Harris floating on a yacht in like the middle of the Caribbean. You know what I mean? Nah. Tell him if he's not playing, I'm not giving him a dime, bro. And he didn't care about anything.
My memory. Did we hear anything about a back injury before he left Philly or after? Just after.
When they were in the bubble, he didn't play
right
in the bubble
right then. But I'm saying when he was here, all he was complaining about was the mental health stuff, right? Was there any word of the back injury yet, or was that after he was traded? He started talking about his back again.
I'm pretty sure that was after he was traded.
All right. So what did he do from then? So it couldn't have been before he got traded. That means that
was when he didn't go for that layup.
But I'm saying no, it got to be after he got traded though. So something happened after the trade.
I don't think anything happened. I think he found
another
team that's going to pay him to not play, and he's just if he would have pulled the back thing in Philly,
then he got them all hyped up. You know what I'm saying? KD vouching for him. Yeah, man. You know, Ben, you are a guy. We're gonna be here for you. The motherfucker not playing.
I think that's best for the Nets right now, though. You know what I mean? Because he's such a weird player to try to fit into an offense. Like you can't just. He's not like
a lot of people think he's perfect for him, though.
Yeah, it's just still something everybody would have to take time to figure out. Like, you know what I mean? He's not a normal baller that can just show up and get buckets. Like, he needs the ball in certain spots. You need guys to be certain places. He's not going to shoot. You need, I don't know.
See,
they're probably like, all right, bro, hang out. We'll figure this out in the offseason because that's too much for right now.
Yeah, it's probably right. You probably got to strategize with it a little bit, but they say he's a perfect fit for, you know, a team with that many shooters. But I don't know.
With a full training camp, maybe.
And then my thing is, what about when the game slow down? Is that still not a problem that people can sag off from like 30 feet? Is that still won't be a problem?
He's gonna be Thibault on offense.
Oh, the Thibault
handles.
Yeah, got
even though
handles.
So he's not going to play the point. So that's so. With that being said, that means he's not playing point then, right?
Who knows?
He can't play point if he's Thibault. He can't if he's doing a Thibault role. He's not a point guard.
I'm just saying as far as like he's not going to shoot.
No, I get it, but I'm just saying like that's the sacrifice to his point.
It sucks that we don't get to see it. Like I wanted to see.
Yeah, I wanted to see how it worked. To be honest, I did want to see how it works. I wanted to see it fail, but now we don't even get to see that. So
I wanted him to have to play in Philly in the playoffs, but you know, he escapes again. The man escapes one more time. He might just retire, honestly.
Yeah, he might. How long?
He might get that. He might try to get that $20 million back that we owe him, apparently, and then just bounce and never play again.
Do we have a case?
Nah.
Is this realistic? Like, I just want to know, like, what is this possibility? Like, how does it look? Is it look up for him?
Speaking of that, it's a weird thing. So, like, my assumption is that they're trying to sue the Sixers basically for like a toxic work environment.
Right.
But like that's like I've said this before, like that's not like walking into an office and having like your coworkers be like, yo, you suck at your job, bro. Why didn't you get fired yet? Fuck you, you suck. Right. Like that's a toxic. You're playing a sport. Like fans basically when you play like shit is a given.
Basically, he's talking about the customers. Like that's like if you come in a customer say, boo, you suck at your job. You should be better at serving me coffee. That's like suing them for that. Basically, that's what you're saying.
That's just so weird, man. But I think an arbitrator or a judge or anybody would be like, yeah, but you're a professional athlete. Like you expect fans to boo you when you miss shots or whatever. So that's part of being a professional athlete. I don't think that's going to work out.
Just like you can't blame a work environment for how the customers act. You can't blame a team for how a fan base act. Like, how are you blaming the fan base for blaming the team for a fan base reaction? Like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you're right. And even if you quit, even if a job's treating you like shit and you quit, you don't get paid. You're just like, I quit. Exactly. He's trying to invent something new. Now you can hate your manager and quit and still get money.
Exactly. So, get a severance, right? Severance play. Okay.
Severance pay. Aaron Cabbage, what's going on, my man? Aaron Cabbage, the 5 best Nets players if 25 doesn't play is KD, Kyrie, Curry, and Patty Mills. It's only 4, bro. KD's the only one who's decent defensively. if 25 doesn't play, Bruce Brown is their best defender. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, you're not wrong. Like they wanted to add Ben Simmons, especially for his like perimeter defense.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was what they was depending on the most, if you ask me. Like they gotta be like, what do they really need a ball handler? Do they really need
no?
You know, they need a defensive guy. They need somebody to lock down the best player in the opposite team. That's what they wanted him for the most, and he can't do that. Like
that's what I really don't get though, because the team's not deep, and you're not. Are you really going to pay a max contract for a defender? You know what I mean? Like you need money. You need money to. We'll see what happens. I wouldn't be shocked actually if they come back and win this game, because that's, first of all, that's what the Knicks do is find ways to lose games. And I've seen Brooklyn be down by 20 plus in the first half before and win the game. So I wouldn't even be surprised. Anyway, some Sixers games have happened since we last jumped on here together. How you guys feel about the Sixers right now? Because it's been a roller coaster, of course. There's been games like the Detroit Pistons game where we looked like, what the hell is this team? And then there's been games where we looked a lot stronger. We had 2 games in a row after that. Blew out the Hornets by 30. Went down to the wire with the Cavs, but kind of took it at the end. I'm still going to call it a comfortable win. Like I never felt like the Cavaliers were really in it at the very end to win it.
Right.
And then we were up 27 on the who was it last night? The team's escaping me.
Last night.
Last team we played?
Yeah.
Oh, the Pacers.
The Pacers. Yeah, we were up 27 on the Pacers, and gave up the whole lead in the third quarter and then pulled it out in the end.
Right.
What's your stance on the Sixers? Dove, you go first. What's your stance on the team right now?
All right, so we finally beat 2 teams that we should have beat. Like without like us even though the last game it came back a little bit, it still was like a overpowering win, which we should have been doing this all season with certain teams. So that's a good sign that we finally beat 2 teams that weren't on our level and we didn't really struggle or anything like that. That's a good sign. The coaching, the lineups, they still stink. I'm trying to figure out what the hell Doc is doing with Charles Bassey and the B-ball, Paul guys. Like Charles, did Maxey like just go Bassey? I'm sorry, Bassey. Did he just go into the G League and score like 40 points or something like that?
Bassey, I think it was something like that.
Like in between games.
Yeah. He got sent down for 2 days, dropped 37 and 21, and came back.
Like I've never seen nothing like that, especially at this time when we're about to go to the playoffs. Like he has to get in his mind that these young guys are going to be valuable for us in the playoffs. DeAndre Jordan, what did I say? Low risk, low reward. He's been everything that I said he would be.
He finally got the oop.
Man, he got a couple. Man, he like almost broke his leg up there. He doesn't look consistently good. You know what I'm saying? Like one game he'll do okay on defense. He'll block a couple shots, talk a little trash. Then the next game he's just out there like a space cadet. So I don't trust him in the playoffs, even though he's like smart and he's been in the game for a long time. I like to see Bassey out there get some tick because he's athletic. Like, and he's gonna stick, the best big man on the opposing team. Harden, I don't know what to say. Is he like saving himself for the playoffs?
That's an interesting one right now.
Like, is he saving it? I want to say he's saving himself for the playoffs. I really want to think that and hope that, but at the same time, I don't know. Because if he's saving himself for the playoffs and he comes out in the playoffs and goes crazy, I have nothing to say about anything he did these, umpteen games that he's been with us. But if he's playing like this in the playoffs too, a trade in vain. So that's how I look at it. We still we have potential to still go all the way, but the pieces got to fall at the right time. Like the other night when we made 28 threes or 23 threes. We need a night like that in the playoffs to solidify us against a good team.
We get that.
I'm just saying.
No, I get you. Well,
yeah. Well, I think we still got a great chance.
I think that's a positive way to look at it because I think any championship team they need a lot of things to go right. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. Yeah.
Yeah, championships do include a lot of luck. We all 3 of us have seen that before. Yeah.
That's a fact. Oh man, where do I start? I would say I would try to start with the overall statement is going to be about, and that is that we did not get a superstar James Harden, and that's okay. That's okay, and it's okay because it does mean that we only are slightly better than we were last year, but slightly better would have got us past the Hawks. Slightly better would have got us past the Hawks. Slightly better would have got us past the probably past the Bucks, possibly even. So, I mean, I'm willing to go forward with it. James Harden, I don't think like you're saying you don't know, Dove, if he's going to turn into that guy. I don't think he is. I think from these last couple of games I watched, I saw a man who he lost the step, man. And I don't know if it's like reconditioning. I don't know, maybe if he like go back into the gym in the summer and just start working out like crazy or something. But I mean, he just doesn't look as fast or agile. He looks so predictable, but he's still good enough that he can at least be a solid point guard. So I would never say like that James is now trash. I think he just can give us what he can give, and looking for him to break out and give us one of those games, even though it's potentially can happen. Like, let's say he does. Let's say he breaks out and give us 146-point game. Do that mean he's back? Probably not. Like, so
my question to you, bro, is that enough?
It might be, like you just said, it takes luck. It takes, because one thing we do have, and that's what I'm saying, we're slightly better, and we're slightly better because we have a point guard that won't go cold, completely not shoot in the fourth quarter. And Joel Embiid is playing somehow even better than he was last year. So with those two things that got us as far as, like, think about how far we got last year, bro. Like, without a point guard that was willing to shoot in the fourth.
That's how good Joel Embiid is.
That's how good Joel Embiid is. So I'm just saying, basically, I'm just looking for what it is. Like, we're not much better than we were last year, but we at least have somebody that won't decide not to shoot in the fourth quarter. And that might be enough. That just might be enough. So I'm being optimistic in that way, but I'm going to be honest with this. When this trade first happened, I thought that we were a shoo-in. I thought that the process was complete, so to say.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I'm not there no more. I'm saying I'm not there no more, but I'm definitely not saying we don't have the potential to do something, and we'll see. Because with Joel Embiid, the way he playing, and we'll see.
45 with 10 free throws last night.
Crazy.
Yeah. The way that I see the Harden thing is that like now that you said when he first came on the team, I thought it was a wrap. I thought it was like, well, he's about to drop 30-point triple doubles left and right. I mean, it's unstoppable, totally unstoppable. And it's still weird to me that he looked like that the first 4 games, and now he looks like not.
I guess beginner's luck is always a thing, right? Like, it's always.
I think
he was fresh. Like, it was I think it was just such a good energy from him. Like, and there wasn't very tough teams. It was a really good energy. Like, so things just could be flowing. And then I think when we went against Brooklyn, like, we honestly was slapped down to reality. It was like, no, you're not that guy. You're not that. Like, calm down. And it's just like, to be honest, we never recovered from that game. After that game, James Harden has never looked as good as he did when he first got here.
I do think that I like what people are saying in the chat. Basically, Yo Khalifa said Twilight Harden is okay if he's not getting paid $50 million a year. I think that's what it's going to come to, because when you watch the team right now, like when he has 14 assists, first of all, Joel Embiid's getting like the easiest looks he's ever gotten in his career. Like he's never been a role man. He's never had a point guard, and he's getting so many. I mean, there was one that wasn't even Harden. There was one that was a Tyrese Maxey pick and roll where he just got the ball under the basket with nobody there. He's never even seen that before. So he's like, with guys setting him up like that and drawing attention and then dishing. And James Harden is just so good in the pick and roll at just dropping the ball, like splitting defenders. And his passing ability is crazy. So I think I could still compare him to Chris Paul if he's not, MVP level 60-point triple double James Harden.
Yeah,
I still think we're getting a very like a veteran floor general, just savvy, like basketball IQ. He made a skip pass last night around a pick and roll, like all the way into the corner for one-handed, like to Danny Green, and I'm like, this dude sees the whole floor all at the same time. So this is definitely a different version of James Harden, but it's not just that we got a point guard in place of Ben Simmons. Like we got the dude is an elite like floor
elite
general.
Point guard. He's he's an elite one.
Isn't
Chris Paul averaging like 14 points right now? Nobody's saying anything.
Yeah, he's been like that for a minute, and he was in MVP discussions last season because just
this season even.
Yeah,
I heard some people say something this season.
Yeah, just the way that he runs the floor, people are like he's the most valuable player. So it's like, you know, Harden's definitely not lighting it up. Definitely not like where he comes down and teams are like, oh my God, what are we going to do? James Harden is scoring every possession and we can't stop him. We're not getting that, but it's still, you know, in place of what we had. It's still a really good point guard. But yeah, I think it will come to like if he keeps playing like this, there will be like a meeting and they'll be like, yo, listen, we love what you're doing, but this is not $200 million supermax type of play, bro. We're not paying you $40 million when you're 38. You know what I mean?
There's like no intensity for him. Like this doesn't seem intense. Like the first couple games, he was intense. He was flowing. Like he's still doing his thing, but it's just so sluggish. Like playing like Joe Johnson, and it's like you're not used to that. Like
Joe Johnson.
Joe Johnson at the point, and it's just hard to watch. It's like hard. We know I think we still stuck a little bit on 3 years ago, like when he was just going ballistic. I can't lie. I want that to happen so bad that I'm not being realistic sometimes. Like he's not going to do that. He probably burnt out. At the same time,
like I said, I thought he was too.
How many step backs do you see a night? Like I'd be like, yo, how many more step back variations can you do?
Yeah, they don't look good.
To me, they look so more predictable. Like I used to think, like it didn't seem repetitive because it seemed like you didn't know when he was going to even do it. Now it's like now you know when he's going to shoot or you know he's going to drive. It just seemed like, bro,
right.
you got to get out of that predictability, and I feel like they're seeing it. And like I don't know, so I think he's been trying a little harder the last couple of games, but at one point, bro, he was definitely going for fouls over shots. Like when he was driving to the basket, like he was just and it was like he was getting away with a lot of walks too, to be honest. And I'm not talking about when he he uses his smart. I mean, he literally like 3 steps, like ball in the air, 3 steps, going crazy. I'm like, James, come on, bro. I know you're better than that. Like, so it's definitely. So you're right. It's definitely times where he's try harder. And maybe we'll get that in the playoffs. We're gonna James that's trying his absolute best, and maybe that will be enough to get us over that.
Yeah. When we first made the trade, go ahead, Doug.
I was gonna say I just feel like some games is like step back or bust.
Basically.
Yeah, and now he's the Pacers game. It really looked like he's taking on more of just I'm going to get the ball all over the floor because I'm not a lethal scorer. I think it's a confidence thing too right now. He doesn't feel like he can dominate.
It's definitely so much of a confidence thing because what is up with the passing up with the catch and shoot? He was passing it up, and then the last couple of games he's actually been trying it, and it goes in. It's like, bro, why was you passing those up? You can make catch and shoot threes. Like, what are you doing? So it's definitely like, I don't know. He's kind of finding himself too. So we still have some hope that eventually he'll find himself completely in this offense because some of the things are not adding up. Like pass up on catch and shoot shots. Like I thought that meant he couldn't take those. And in the last couple of games, he made a couple of those. What you saying,
James Simmons? James Simmons.
Say James. It's not as bad though.
He was talking about. He was talking about that with Doc Rivers was talking about that too, and he basically said he's never had to do that before because he's always had the ball in his hand, so he's not used to a team where you're running the ball from a center who gets double teamed and kicks it out, and then the ball swings, so he gets the ball swung. But at the same time, like you played ball your whole life, bro. We've all played ball. You catch the ball and shoot it.
Shoot the 3, bro.
Definitely. Well, I tell you.
He's definitely like I when we first made the trade, I said on a stream, I was like, we're not getting Houston James Harden, but even this version is and people disagreed with me, and I was like, bro, are you serious? Have you watched? Like, just go back and watch that, bro. Like, honestly, I think we as NBA fans and not Houston Rockets fans took it for granted, really, what he did for 9 years, like that. Those just for entertainment purposes, if only something, like go watch his just best highlights as a Houston Rocket. He was unreal, dude. He was the quickest, like it was what we see right now times 1,000. Like his quickness was insane. It was totally unstoppable, and he doesn't have that quickness right now. And I don't know if he can get that quickness back, honestly, because a 20, 26, 27-year-old body is a lot different than a 32, 33-year-old body. It just is, especially with hamstring injuries every year and things like that. So I don't know. Maybe they reach a negotiation and say, listen, you're not what you were. We're not going to give you super max, but we want you as the point guard. So let's work something out here.
I hope. I mean, he got to be tired of being bounced around. I feel like he wants a home, and I feel like he'll be. He made a lot of money. I don't know. I never known him to be a hungry, like a money hungry guy. I don't know, but we'll see. I don't know. But also, he needs to split some of that up with Tyrese Maxey anyway, because that's another reason why we're not on his butt. Because Tyrese Maxey is saving his life, to be honest. Because let's think about it. If Tyrese Maxey is not performing how he is, then we are on James looking at him like, bro, what are you doing? But Tyrese Maxey is like really taking the pressure off of him, like entirely, bro. Like that man is showing up. He's showing way up. Like James had a terrible first half, but we were distracted by Maxey. He scored like 8 threes. We didn't even care. We didn't even care that James was sucking. It was like, yo, Tyrese Maxey is out here, bro. He's on fire. Like, we don't even care. Like at this point.
Honestly, part of that third quarter run the Pacers made, James was out there with the bench,
and he was and he was like the reason why we couldn't get the. I mean, I ain't want to say it. I ain't want to look at it that way.
He threw like 3 bad turnovers. One of them was an inbound. One of them was an inbound. And I'm like, what is going on?
Bro,
like, so we didn't even get to blame it on like Doc went all bench lineup for 7 minutes. Like, no, James Harden was on the floor,
and you could tell that was the idea. It was like, okay, we got a bench lineup, but if James out there, he'll be able to control the offense, score, make his points. Like, you're thinking if he's out there, this is where he shines. We always say he's a ball hog, or that's initially what was sad about him, that he's ISO. That was the time for him to go ISO, but he can't do that anymore. That's the difference. He can't take a person off the dribble. His off the dribble is gone now. Like, think about it. Even in those games where he looked good when he first got here, he wasn't exactly taking guys off the dribble. He doesn't have that no more.
He's playing like an old head, man. He's playing all up your body, bounce off you. I don't know what to call it.
I mean, all he really needs, he needs to be able to make 3-point shots to just, so the defense keeps respecting him, and then he can facilitate. So, as long as he does that. But yeah, I agree with everybody that, you don't want to give him a super max. What do you think about the MVP race and Joel Embiid, Giannis, Jokic? People are bringing up Devin Booker now. Luka Doncic, and I think like what I'm seeing is all of a sudden like somebody can get hot for a month at the end of the season, and then they're in the MVP talks. Like, what happened to the entire season?
Bro. I kind of wish Joel Embiid didn't put his foot in his mouth so fast. I wish he would I agree with what he said. I just wish he waited till after he lost to say it, because like now it's like. How people can be petty. So it's like, oh, you say we're hating on you. Now we're going to hate on you. So, so I just wish he didn't say it at that time. But he's right, because all you heard last season was if Embiid played more games, he would be MVP, right?
Yep.
Man comes out, play almost every game, and is better than he was last year. And somehow it's up in the air. Like, what the bro, where's the consistency? Last year he was a shoo-in, right? It was just that he was missing games. Now it's and Joker this. And don't get me wrong, I do expect it to be a race with somebody. Somebody has to make it interesting. So I'm not saying that hearing people say Jokic is possibly their number one. My problem is that it's so debatable with Joel. It's not I don't know how to say it. It's just always something to say about this guy not being the one. You know what I'm saying? It's and I feel like this year he proved that he is, man. It's not enough credit. It's not enough credit.
It's really like, what more can I do? Yeah. What more could he possibly have done this season? Going through the Ben Simmons thing, going through everything. What more could he have done? He had those 2 months where he broke all the Sixers franchise records for 35 and 10 games, 38 to 40 and 10 games. Like, he's on a list right now the only NBA players in history with 12, 40, and 10 games in a season are Wilt Chamberlain, Russell Westbrook, and Joel Embiid. I'm pretty sure. I might have missed one person, but yeah, it's like, bro, he's doing ridiculous things, and we're talking about.
And here's the thing that gets me too. Every season, also kind of with the MVP award comes a story, a narrative, something that generate clicks or papers or sell papers, right? Who had that more than the Sixers this year? We had one of the biggest blow-ups in NBA history of a guy who refused to come to camp, who refused to step foot in the court. Like this we were the talk of the league this year. Joel Embiid outperforming that narrative, that story is one of the biggest stories of the season. How's he? When the year that Durant left, everybody wanted to talk about how Russell Westbrook was the MVP because he kept going and he was putting up numbers and he got them to the playoffs. Why are we not getting that same attention? Like, it's not adding up to me, bro. How are we not getting
crazy because
attention? A narrative? James Harden got his MVP based off a narrative the year he won. Like, what narrative do Jokic have? He's doing the same thing he did last year. It's boring. Like, who cares? Like, move on. Like, we've been way more interesting than anything Denver and Jokic been doing. Bottom line, flat out, we're way more interesting to watch. We got more stories. Like I said, the whole Ben Simmons thing, getting James Harden. How is it not a more of a shoe-in for Joel Embiid? Like, how is it still a toss-up? Like, I don't get it, bro. A little bit of a rant. I'm sorry.
Jay's passionate about this topic, man.
Yeah, because I know it's crazy, bro. I don't get how we still talking about this. Like,
it's funny to me, right? So when it comes to the MVP. I think the MVP has been flawed for about 10 years now. Like the voting, I think it was flawed for about at least 10 years now, at least. MVP and Defensive Player of the Year awards. I wanted to go back. I just want to go back a little bit to like Steph Curry when he won. Now, the year when Steph Curry won, he was unanimous. He was going ballistic. He was doing everything. You know what year I'm talking about. The year before KD came. That year, the Steph Curry's, not going to argue, shit he was doing was crazy. The year before that, Harden won.
Yeah, 15 Harden, 16 Curry, I'm pretty sure.
No, I'm sorry. I meant to say Steph Curry won 2, but he should have only won 1. One of those should have been Harden's. Harden was going crazy.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
I feel like a lot of times the NBA is right. The NBA is like backwards with the award. So they'll award you for the MVP because they feel like they robbed you the year before. Like the Joker could have won the one before that instead of Giannis. But they decided to give him to last year, like a sympathy thing. And they do the same thing with Defensive Player of the Year. I remember one time the Mavs won the chip against the Heat, and they gave Tyson Chandler the Defensive Player of the Year the year after. So it's like the league, the way they do the MVP voting. I don't know who all's in charge, but it's messed up. Like,
it's a bunch of reporters. You're right. It's sympathy play. You're right. It's at the end of the day, it's not a machine. It's not really based off stats. It's human. It's human. Right. It's forget me. It's 2020 hindsight. It's all that stuff. The what's now in front of you. Like, it's very wishy-washy.
Right. So the argument for Jokic is based off stats, and so I don't see how you could give it to him 2 years in a row. Because the only way they gave it to him last year is because, first of all, the best ability is availability, and he played more games than Joel Embiid.
That's what they said all year, the whole time.
And, when you watch Nikola Jokic play basketball, he's ridiculous. He's one of the best offensive 7-footers I've ever seen. His ball handling and passing ability and is crazy for someone his size. And he has a jumper. He does a little hook shot in the lane. Like, he just put up 40 and 16 last night, even though they lost. But the defensive side of the ball, the dude, he can't guard NBA centers, like scoring NBA centers. He can't. When they played the Sixers, every time they play the Sixers, when he gets the matchup against Joel Embiid, which only happened twice in 3 seasons now, they got to bring a double right away. Joe's going right through his chest. That dude, you know what I mean?
He's too little. Jay, we've seen him in person. He's too little.
But so they use all of these mathematical equations to argue that he's the best defensive player in the league based on like defensive efficiency rating and box score plus minus and all this bullshit. Straight up bullshit. Because when you watch the damn game, the dude isn't even on the same level defensively as Joel Embiid, who I think is the defensive player of the year every single year. Right now, the Sixers are I forget the number off the top of my head, but they're 7th in the league defensively when Joel Embiid's on the floor, and they're 27th when he's off the floor. He's been anchoring his team defensively.
It's like all
on
the
top
boxes.
Of dropping 30 and 12 every night.
Crazy. It's like all the boxes of MVP are checked. So I'm like, what's the one that's missing? It's like, bro, it's like what the narrative is there, the stats are there, the records. He's breaking records this year. I'm trying to be unbiased. I'm trying to think outside of being a Sixers fan and think like, well, what are we missing? I get what number 1 seed. We had that for a day.
we had it more than once.
Yeah, right. We started.
We were the number 1 seed last year. We were the number 1 seed last year.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And that's what I didn't think it really made sense that they were taking him out of the race off of him missing games. Like I understood, but it really like at the end of the day that makes sense to me because it's like if he's missing that many games and still putting up these type of numbers, that means he would be putting up these type of numbers if he was there. So, but I got it. You know, it is what it is. But this year, there's no excuse. There's no excuse.
I think the narrative for Denver fans is that Joel Embiid plays in a large market and Nikola Jokic isn't respected because they're in Denver. And also they say that he doesn't play like a flashy game and he's not like an entertainer like Joel Embiid. So they feel like he has this disadvantage and he's not respected in the media and things like that. That's what they say.
I think he is an entertainer in his own right. It's different. We're not used to it because he's not American, but he's an entertainer in his own right. He just does it differently. He's flashy. His passes are flashy. He's just dopey looking. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what it is. It's not sexy. That's what
it's not. Yeah. I was about to say he's a little awkward, but that's why I said I said this before. Like he's was an ex-tennis player that started playing basketball at 15. That's really late, bro. And I think that's why like certain things don't click with him right away, huh?
Embiid started 18
too.
Oh, I'm talking about Embiid. Are y'all talking about
Embiid?
Yeah,
Embiid, I didn't know Embiid played tennis.
Embiid was a volleyball player.
It was volleyball. My bad. Yeah, it was volleyball.
Yeah.
And like with those guys, like I think we're like because we think about Americans, like we're starting off on the courts on our doors,
right?
Learning how to time hoop. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you learn your timing. And I think like not having that, you don't have your coordination is a little behind other kids. So him starting so late at 15, I think that that's why he doesn't look as sexy on the court as.
I think the skill that he developed in such a short time. By the time he got to Kansas, Kansas, he was the man.
Right, exactly. That's crazy.
He was a stick. He was like this big,
bro. And then Embiid did start as a child, bro. Hands down, the best player, one of the best players of all time.
Embiid has Joel Embiid is a level of genius. He really is. He has like a photographic memory, or however you want to say it, because like even just playing alongside Joel Embiid and he practiced playing alongside James Harden and he practiced the James Harden step back like twice and then did it in a game.
He learned it in like 2 days. Right?
Yeah, so he picked up a basketball when he was 15. He said he learned how to shoot by watching white people on YouTube. That's how he said that. That's how he learned how to shoot.
That's crazy.
So he just pulled up a video of like JJ Redick in college or something. I don't know what time, what year.
I think you talk about those training videos. I seen those. It's like this white guy. He does this training videos to show you how to do a perfect form.
They work.
It must work. It must
but
work.
I think he's just like genius. Like he just watched that and like had a perfect jump shot. Like, okay, I'll just do it like that. And then like he studied Hakeem Olajuwon, like dream shake and double, fade away jumpers. And he's just like, I'll just go do that. Like a lot of people can't just watch a video and emulate something like that. He's a different level. That's crazy that he I don't even feel like he had to learn anything. I feel like he can just watch something and like do it. But yeah,
I respect it. It's different.
Somebody in the chat said Nets is up by 1. Is that true?
That's crazy. My God, it's tied. It's 87-87.
Oh man, we're counting our age too fast. All right.
Oh, that was fun. That was fun, New York. Oh man, that was fun.
See?
That was fun.
I knew it.
We got a couple super chats here. Daniel Hill says, "I would love to see Bassey in the playoffs, but he just got hurt yesterday in a G League game."
Oh man.
Way to go, Doc. Keep sending him.
I didn't know that.
G League. Now he's hurt.
That sucks. But I mean, that sucks. But let's be honest, he was never going to see the playoffs. So
yeah, he was never going to play. He should play.
He should, but he's never.
No, but Doc, come on, Doc.
The last time Bassey played was against Jokic in Denver in November, and he had 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 blocks. I mean, the dude he's a tank, bro. He's just a tank, and he has offensive skill.
Maybe Doc is a personnel guy. Maybe there's something behind the scenes with these guys' personalities that's not clicking with Doc. Like maybe it's not a basketball thing. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, bro.
He's not the coach for us, bro.
People compare it to Joe Paterno at Penn State. I don't know if you guys are familiar with how he used to coach, but like, he would play a fifth-year senior over like a stud freshman 10 times out of 10. He would never put that young kid on the field. And like this kid was number 1 in high school last season. Like this dude, no playing time with Joe Pa. You got to earn your keep. You know what I mean? That's Doc Rivers does. I'm not putting him out there. You got to earn it, bro.
I didn't want to think it was that simple, but I guess it is. I guess it's just that simple. He's just being
old stubborn, grumpy old man. Yeah.
Yeah. I never thought he was the right coach for us. He doesn't relate well to young teams. Like how many veterans do we have? Really, like 2 or 3. But like he don't relate well with the young guys. You see what happened with the Clippers once they started getting rid of those old guys. Shit was a clash. Like Doc Rivers not the one, man.
I completely agree with this.
He should go to the Lakers. They would have been great with him this year.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, let's do that. Do with that.
They got all the 40-year-olds over there. He'll have a ball.
He'll love it. They don't got to play THT. He don't got to play him. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Russell Westbrook just run around the court all day. Go ahead.
Let him. Definitely. Oh man.
Doc is Doc, man.
But this person made a great point, and that's what I was saying as well, man. Like, even if Harden is not playing shooting well, you can't sag off him.
Respectfully,
like this person is right. That's what I'm saying. We're a little better than last year, so I'll take that little better. I'll take that. Like,
I really think when the game slows down in the playoffs in the half court, we're a lot better because when it slowed down in the half court with Ben, you had to scramble and find a point guard. It had to be either 21-year-old Tyrese Maxey at the time or Shake Milton. Doc Rivers went with George Hill in Game 7. Like we
out of nowhere.
And Brett Brown, this is what I wish Doc Rivers would have just looked at what Brett Brown did at the end of his tenure, because it's like once we got Doc, the whole thing started over. Brett was already over Ben being a point guard by the end. He started Shake Milton. He's like, I need a point guard on the floor. So, you know what I mean? It's like Brett figured it out time and time again. Like when crunch time happens, you don't have a point guard on the floor if this dude is technically your point guard. So then we had to go a whole year of Doc defending him and doing all this bullshit. And then, the playoffs came around, and guess what? You didn't have a point guard at the end of the day. So now you have a half-court point guard, straight up.
Finally.
You don't have to go search for one. You got one.
I'll take it, man. I'll take it any day over what Ben Simmons was giving us. Nothing.
I'll give it a shot. I'll definitely give it a shot.
He's giving the Nets nothing right now. Just on the sideline in some shades and a big shiny chain.
Looking good. Man, that's all he knows.
I still can't believe Tyrese went from 30% from 3 last season to almost 43 and hit more threes in one half than Bum Simmons made in his 76ers career. Yeah, Tyrese Maxey made more threes in the first half yesterday than Ben did in 5 years, 4 seasons with the Sixers.
That's nuts, man. I thought it was nuts. I saw that, and I thought it's crazy.
I think the confidence that I saw in Tyrese Maxey last night was crazy. Like, because I think I think this all started when James Harden got here, because James is in his ear all the time, telling him how good he is and telling him to let it fly. And Doc wasn't doing that. Doc last year was telling him, like, question everything. You need to be Rajon Rondo. You need to get the ball here, here, and here. And then when James got here, he just started firing. And I have the gif of James Harden where he's yelling, thank you, I told you. Like, and last night he's just like, some of those shots he's not even open. He's just like, I'm the man right now. I'm taking a
One thing about Maxey, bro, is he gonna take advantage of a league and he gonna take advantage of a bum team. And yesterday was both. Like he is
a Kentucky Bull.
Yeah, he snaps on teams that we better than. He knows his confidence soars, And, it's a little different in those high pressure games, but he's young, it's susceptible right now. You know what I'm saying? He's getting better, and I think he's going to get a lot better next season because look how better he got after this one. So I love that in these type of games where there's nobody can F with him. He goes off. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Same thing with Embiid. There's literally nobody on that team that can stick Embiid. That's why he went off. Like he was like 5 inches taller than everybody put on him. Like it was crazy. So you gotta go off. Like that's the point. You take advantage of their disadvantage. Like, and that's what they did.
All right. So who would you guys like to see in the first round of the playoffs? I put the poll when the stream first started. Toronto, Brooklyn, or other. 38% Toronto, 22% Brooklyn, 41% other. I put other because I didn't like figure out who, if it could possibly be, somebody else. It could be Chicago if we land at 3. I should have put Chicago in there.
I would love to watch it. I don't want to see them in the first round, but it would be nice to watch. You know what I'm saying? A lot of firepower. I would like the Cavs in the first round, to be honest.
So
they just can't beat us.
I don't know if you guys heard, but this question got a lot more interesting this afternoon because it's being reported that Thibault is unvaccinated and can't play in Toronto.
Yeah, he's ineligible tomorrow. Yep.
So with that being said, if we go against Toronto, that means we won't have Thibault in those games. Is that a big deal for you guys or not?
No.
Okay. Simple as that.
Listen, first quarter yesterday, first 30 seconds of the game, this dude was more wide open than Ben Simmons was in the corner. There was nobody within a country mile of this dude, man. And he airballed it. And then he got another one even more wide. I'm talking they were not even considering defending him. Yeah. So it's hard to have him on the offensive side of the ball, especially in the playoffs. Right. When the air quotes game slows down, but it's hard to have him on the offensive side of the ball. He does so many amazing things defensively, but it's like, God, there's automatic double teams everywhere because literally nobody's even looking at Matisse Thybulle. They don't care.
All right, so with that being said, that was just a little question I was wrestling with my head because my answer was Toronto. Like in a perfect like mashup of who somebody we can like get rid of real fast, I would say Toronto. I don't think they have much to do with us, so I think we could get that over in a sweep or a gentleman sweep. But I was wondering if Thibault missing from the away games will hurt us, but it sounds like
no.
Guys are saying no. But but also I would say my that's me answering the question if I had to. My true opinion is that we should be ready for anything. If Brooklyn's who we see in the first round, I said this on our own pod. If Brooklyn's who we see in the first round, we should be ready for it because if we're the team to beat, then that's what we have to. If they're the team to beat, we're going to have to do that anyway. So first round, third round, I don't care. Let's beat is
the Bucks. Don't get it twisted.
Well, yeah, but that's a fact. Yeah, but probably most likely those are defending champs. So most likely
good about the Bucks.
I do too. I like what we did.
I want to feel good against everybody. That's what I'm saying. I don't really want to get into like what team because I think we should be ready to really beat anybody because I want the chip. So that's as far as I want to go. So what's the point of going into that?
I think people get caught up in game to game. We play down to competition a lot. We play really bad against really bad teams. We take the third quarter off and just hang out and give up. We got outscored 40-25 in the third quarter last night. We scored 49 in the second quarter and 49 in the second half. So crazy. We blew up in the second quarter and then we just quit playing. And then we were like, shit, we're about to lose this game. We got to get it together.
Let's get it back together. Exactly. That's exactly what they did too.
But when it's a big stage against a good team like the Bucks, like we fight, man. And really, if it wasn't for that 8 straight minutes of Paul Millsap trying to guard Giannis, and he scored 17 straight points, if it wasn't for that, we were in there. And we even brought it back towards the end and made it a close game. So I feel good about us matching up with any good team. It's really that 10 minutes that Joel Embiid's off the floor.
And what's the point?
It has to be timed up. You can't do it when Giannis is on the floor. You can't put Embiid on the bench.
And what's the point of getting into what team we should face at what time? Sorry, that's my 1-year-old. What's the point of getting to what team we should face at a time when at the end of the day we lost to the Hawks last year? So let's just keep an open mind to making sure. Listen, I'm just saying. What's like? We can get into. Let's listen. I'm just saying we have to be approached by NBA teams, NBA caliber teams in general. They're all going to be good at the end of the day. So we have to be ready for everyone. So I'm not going to get into like avoiding Brooklyn when we can potentially get eliminated by anybody, because we saw what happened last season. We didn't even get to see Brooklyn. We never even got to see that matchup. That's all we were talking about. So
I don't all the way agree.
I'm just saying, let's make sure this team is on their P's and Q's and ready to just go against anyone at any point.
That's I agree too. I agree too. I think Toronto fans are loud, especially on YouTube. So it would be fun for me to match up with Toronto in the first round, because I don't think they got a lot of young athletes. They got a lot of dudes that can run and jump high and block shots and get steals. But at the end of the day, exactly, they'll foul. Joel will foul all of them out. But at the end of the day, like playoff time, I don't think they have enough. They got Van Vliet and
Van Vliet,
Siakam.
That's it.
That's not beating us. I really don't think that's beating us in a 7-game series.
I'm not too worried.
But a Brooklyn matchup first round, I'd be all for it. That would be so.
It is
so
what it
fun.
is. It would be very hella fun.
It would be. It would be intense.
It would be intense, man. I know one thing. The post game live streams, the views would be through the roof on my channel. So I'd be all for it. Let's go. And like realistically, like I've been saying all year, I'm just not that scared of the Brooklyn Nets. If they have that game where Kyrie and KD are on and they drop 50 apiece, yeah, you're probably going to lose, but they're not going to do that 7 games in a row.
Listen, that game we had with them, let's just say that game was like so through the roof. I think everything was kind of like nothing was normal about that game. Okay, like Kyrie and Durant are very used to that environment. They're used to very high intense energy games. I think they came out on a whole different level than the Sixers expected. They didn't expect them to be so invested in a beef that they wasn't really in, but apparently they were very invested, and I think that kind of took us by surprise. I don't think it's going to happen like that again. I think we would square up a lot better in a 7-game series with that team, like to keep it 100.
I want to take your word. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna date back to this tonight. What is April the 6th? If we see them in the playoffs,
see what happens.
I think we can beat them though, because like you said, Kyrie and KD, great scorers. They're not coming out every game like that. The way they did when they came to Philly last time.
And the thing is, though, they could go off and you could still win the game. Like Kyrie and KD, especially, he's going to get his points. He just got 55 and lost. So at the end of the day, like, we're not going to really slow that man down. It's everybody else that we have to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? We have to slow down the rest of the team. And it doesn't seem really that hard. They're not that good. They're really not that good. So,
Kyrie was on a different level for 3 weeks.
And it was that rest. Let's keep it at 100. It was that rest. We kept debating whether or not it was the rest. I think it was the rest. It had to be.
It might have been. He was on. He after that game where they beat us by 1 million. Not too long after that, he had the most efficient 50-point game in NBA history, and then he dropped 60 points the next game.
Yeah,
he was lights out.
Being in the lineup every night is not going to be like that now. I think, you know what I'm saying? Now that he's back to a schedule, back to home and away games, having to travel back and forth. Yeah, I don't think he's going to have a good game. Don't get me wrong. Kyrie Irving is still Kyrie. I'm just saying, like, he was at a different level because he was very well rested, just like what they did with Kawhi that year. Kawhi was just more rested than everybody that entire league, man.
Yeah, I mean that's what the Nets tried to do with Harden and everybody last year. They were like, this guy has a hamstring, he's out for 3 weeks. Then he comes back, then it's like, Kyrie has a sore ankle, he's out for like they were rotating guys in and out the whole season, trying to keep them fresh.
It was horrible, man.
The Nets are up 2 right now, though, so they're probably gonna win in this game.
Shit, they need it. The Knicks ain't doing nothing. Man.
So we got Toronto tomorrow night, and then we got 2 games left after that, which is like Detroit and somebody else. That those games probably don't really matter, right?
Probably not. So I guess
I don't even care about the seeding at this point. I
Toronto,
Indiana
Indiana again on Saturday, and then Detroit on Sunday.
Wow.
Do I even really want to waste my time on a Sunday afternoon watching us play the
Detroit
Pistons
Pistons
at the last game of the season?
Oh no, yeah, you're right, CJ.
About the scoring record though. So the Lakers have officially been eliminated. I don't expect Bron to play anymore. We're pretty much
out their miseries.
Right. So after tomorrow, Embiid probably will stop playing. So that means Embiid is pretty much locked for scoring champ at this point, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, I would think so. I think LeBron's the only one that's.
How do you win scoring champ? And that's crazy. I think
as a center, as a 7-foot center, bro. That hasn't happened since Shaq.
Look at it this way, exactly. Based off that alone, any other center would have got it. Just based off that, right there.
Yeah,
people have won it off less. Let's come on, man.
I'm with you.
So we're not going to rest players tomorrow, right? Is this game kind of important?
I think we're going to play. I think people playing tomorrow. I think we should be playing for real tomorrow.
Yeah, we should. Don't. I don't want nobody coming into
because the Raptors are right up there with us. So if they beat us, I don't know. I gotta look at the seeding.
No, it's not. We're 49 and 30. They're 46 and 33. But if they beat us and
they beat the next team,
who's no, they're fifth. Yeah, we might rest players tomorrow. Honestly, losing tomorrow can't really do anything to us.
Oh.
We would be 49 and 31. The Raptors will be 47 and 33.
Oh.
But if we lose three in a row, so you might want to win tomorrow and then rest players.
Yeah.
At least tomorrow.
You gotta
get that W tomorrow.
Especially because they're in our division. Like, just because of that, like.
Oh, we're tied. If Milwaukee loses tomorrow, we could move up to the 3 seed. If we beat Toronto and Milwaukee loses, let me see who Milwaukee's playing, I guess. This is getting complicated, man.
Yeah, it is. And all these 49 teams, there's 3 teams with 49 wins and 30 losses. Us, the Celtics, and the Bucks. All three of these teams had the same record. So
I wish I was better at navigating ESPN website. I'm all over the place. All right, I'm trying to find the Milwaukee Bucks schedule. Here we go.
Can I just say too that I like to play?
Oh, they play Boston tomorrow.
Who?
It's a big ass game. Boston versus Milwaukee tomorrow on TNT.
And they're tied. So that's amazing.
If we beat Toronto and Boston beats Milwaukee, we would be the 3rd seed.
Yeah, they're going to play tomorrow. I feel like they will. So
Boston would be 50 and 30. We would be 50 and 30. Milwaukee would be 49 and 31. Yeah.
Shit, maybe Embiid plays their season out just to make more of a point about winning the MVP.
I don't want him to. He's made it this far.
I know. Yeah, that's a fact. I don't want him to either. Yeah. You paused. You muted, Dove.
Dove, you're muted. Here, I got you. There you go. Oh, I hit the button again.
A round of applause, man.
Who that?
I give him a round of applause, Embiid, because
yeah.
Like I can't think of a time when he was out for injuries this year. He was out for COVID early in the year.
Outside
of that, maybe a little.
Bro, let's think of. Thank you for bringing that up. Without that COVID streak, where is it being numbers right now? Think about that. Really think about that. Like, he was out for what, 12 games, right?
He was out for a couple games. Yeah, and then he came back going to work immediately.
Bro, because I remember we went on kind of a little bit of a losing streak too. It was well. So also that's more of a case because that shows when he's literally not playing, we suck. Like, what the hell is the MVP means? Like, come on, bro. Like, this is ridiculous.
Most valuable player.
Like, this is
the wall for MVP, man. I stand by that.
And that's why it was so hard for Ja, even though Ja might be one of my favorite players outside of a Sixers uniform. And that's why his case was so hard to be placed, because his team kept winning no matter how many games he lost. I mean, he was out. No matter, he was out a lot this season, and his team kept winning. So Ja in, Ja out. Man. They are a good team. Like, that's about
22 is crazy.
It's not that. That's not the case with us. That is not the case with us.
We are.
If Joe Embiid is out the game, we are out the game most likely. But I mean, we did pull some couple of good ones. I think not too long ago we pulled a good one without him. But you know what I mean.
Sean Quick says they're talking about Joel Embiid being in 4th now for the MVP rating. They even had Booker ahead on NBA radio.
That's what I'm saying. It seemed as almost like when the race was still kind of far, when the finals of the race was still kind of far, like it was like, oh, we don't know. And now that we're getting closer to like decision time, you're hearing more and more pushback on why Embiid is not the MVP.
If
like
he leads the NBA in scoring,
that's crazy to me. Exactly.
As a center, has more 40 and 12 games or more 40 and 10 games than anybody besides Wilt Chamberlain and Russell Westbrook. Has more, like, there's just no way. The guy's been,
and you know what I'm hearing?
Dominant seasons we've ever seen from
and you know what I'm hearing? That miss he had that missed layup from the other night is kind of people's excuse of why he's not that guy.
Really? The pump fake on Giannis you're talking about in the Bucks game?
The Bucks game, the last shot when he rushed it. Yeah, he should have jammed that. He should have jammed that, to be honest. But that's super petty and annoying. Like, come on, bro.
You can see the way that he threw it up, though. I think he really thought there was like no time on the clock. He's like, he did just a little quick like flick. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true. He might have thought there was no time left. Yeah,
that's whack. They can't put Devin Booker up there. Like the Suns, Devin Booker and the Suns were a playing team before Chris Paul got there.
There you go.
It's Chris Paul runs the whole show. Devin Booker's a great scorer, but he's not dragging a team anywhere by himself.
There you go.
I think the MVP race is all big men.
Somehow.
It's been like that for the last couple of years.
Somehow.
Realistically.
Yeah, it is.
Because like, let's keep it a $150, and I'm going to keep it honest. Embiid is definitely benefiting from the fact that there really are no good bigs left. Not that Embiid is not good here. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying let's keep it real. How many good bigs do he have to go against on a nightly basis?
It's a handful.
That's what I'm saying. So I think that's another reason why the bigs are kind of like the bigs that we do have left are kind of like an MVP conversations, because they're in the conversation of their own league. Like, there's no.
Well, I mean, the center
numbers are ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely.
The center position used to be a thing because there was always a like once in a lifetime kind of player at that position. You had Shaq for a long time.
I feel like there was way more good centers in the early 2000s, like
Tim Duncan, David Robinson, all those dudes. I mean, but a scoring center like Embiid, like Olajuwon, maybe. You know, there was like 10 years where the center position was like gone, or like a solid 5 years, and DeMarcus Cousins came along, and he was the first one in like a long time that was like a 30-point, 20 rebound kind of guy.
Right. Then we got AD, and
I thought it was going to be Bynum.
You thought it was going to be Andrew Bynum. You thought he was going to be the
Andrew Bynum, Jahlil Okafor. Those centers, were the centers that of the dying prototype centers. Those were the centers that were dying out. Like Jahlil Okafor in the early 2000s would have been one of the best centers in the league. But you know, in this NBA, no,
I don't think he's physical. I don't think he was physical enough, man. He had a little spin move layup that was quick for his size and stuff like that.
But big hand.
Dude couldn't rebound. He got out rebounded all the time. He has just lack of effort. I don't know, man. That dude. He looked so like stylish and finesse that rookie season. Like, it looked like this dude was average. He scored 26 his first game ever. I'm pretty sure, and we were like, "Yo, Jahlil Okafor, look at this, look at that." And then
I ain't gonna hold you. I thought he's gonna be better than Embiid. That first year, his first rookie year, bro. I was saying we should.
He fell off so hard.
He fell off so hard, bro.
I was on the Embiid wagon before he got drafted. I just didn't know we was going to get him, but I was on the Embiid wagon. I just feel like they did Jahlil Okafor a disservice by getting Joel Embiid. A little bit.
Well, we were always they drafted Embiid 2014 Okafor
first,
the next year.
Yeah, they drafted him first, but he was injured. He didn't get to play. So I mean, that goes to show you where they backup plan. Yeah,
that was a crazy time. No, it was Sam Hinkie was saying we just need to stack assets and then we could like. People praise Sam Hinkie, but
he was the number one pick. So right, or
people praise Sam Hinkie, but people praise Sam Hinkie, but at the same time, man, the dude had a plan that was destined to fail as far as drafting the best player available every single year. No, bro, you can't draft 3 centers in a row. You can't. You drafted the injured one. You have to either draft to fit around him if you think he's going to be healthy, or you got to do something. He just center, and then you got to try to trade him, and Okafor was already not as good as he was his rookie season, so you couldn't get anything for him.
We had Embiid, Okafor, and Nerlens Noel
on the same team. Nerlens was mad he wasn't.
I remember I tried to run all 3 of them on 2K. It was ridiculous. You can't do it. It's not possible.
When they were all three finally healthy, Nerlens was mad because he didn't get any minutes. Like, bro, what are we supposed to do?
Right.
They tried to play him and Okafor together. Oh my god, that was so bad.
I think they might have messed up both those dudes' career. To be honest, man, Noel
messed up his own career.
Well, yeah, but he was a solid prospect though. They both were solid prospects, I would have to say.
We could use them now. I'll tell you that.
Overhyped though to be that high in the draft. Nerlens was traded for the number 6 pick, if I remember correctly. Drew Holiday, we traded for the 6th pick and drafted Nerlens, or they drafted him and we traded. I don't remember, but he was a freak on the defensive end, right? And he was at Kentucky. This guy was finishing games with like 17 blocks. Like he was just blocking everything there was. And so we just thought he was going to come into the NBA and nobody was going to be able to score.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen that way. He's still a great shot blocker, but he should have never been in the top 10 in the draft.
I think it wasn't his year bad. I think he came in a bad year. So
probably.
I don't think it was a lot going on that season.
There was a lot going on.
That class, I should say.
Daniel Hill says, "What do you think is Maxey's ceiling?"
Lou Williams.
That's a good question.
No, what? That's way too low. That was a joke, right? That's a joke, right?
You gonna disrespect the great Lou Williams?
I'm not disrespecting him, bro. Your ceiling, bro. That's your ceiling. I would say that's the low ball. Like if he's a good, mate, bro. When you take into account. Bro, and when you take into account how good this guy just went from season rookie to season 1, he has the potential. If it keeps going in that trajectory,
bro, it doesn't work like that. You know that,
bro. As far as trajectory, I'm just saying, if the trajectory goes up and keeps skyrocketing up, I would say he's way more than a Lou Will, bro. I mean,
Tony Parker.
Tony Parker. Okay, I guess.
Tony Parker's that's a weird comparison.
That's a weird comparison. I can't really say much because that's a good. Like Tony Parker was definitely the man, but I mean, Maxey is way more like too splashy for Parker.
I can't think of one. Like if I had to compare him to an NBA player, somebody that
I don't know. He's kind of his own guy, and that's why I really don't want to compare anybody because I really think the kid's ceiling. I would say this: his ceiling is potentially giving us 25 points a game,
25,
maybe more.
Yo,
yes.
Hey, listen,
Max is out at 22.
Lou Williams
might do us better than that.
Lou Williams might not be a bad comparison because it's kind of a guy that averages. Now that I think about it, it's a guy that averages probably, I'm just going to guess off the top of my head, when he was really getting minutes, probably averaged 15, 16, 17 points a game and would have an occasional game where he dropped 30, 35, maybe 40 when he was hot.
He was averaging like 20.
I'm just being optimistic. If you're asking me what his ceiling could be optimistically, I'm going to say he has the potential to be an all-star. Like I'm looking at all-star numbers. I'm saying if he keeps going the way he is, 24 points, 25 points a game is not unrealistic to me. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what player to compare him to, but I would say he could give us that production one day.
If the team gets into a role where they realize James Harden is not an elite scorer at this point in time, and they kind of mold the game plan around Maxey being the number 2 off of Joel Embiid and Harden just being the point guard facilitator, whatever, like if the game plan's set up that way and if he puts up 10 3-point shot attempts, so he put up 11 last night, if he's shooting 10 threes a game, if he's putting up that many shots, he could score that much. It has a lot to do with that. Like you said, Isaiah Thomas, that reminded me of that because Isaiah Thomas was the man on that Celtics team. He was just firing away every time he touched the ball.
Somebody said 25 points a game, question mark. Is that really unrealistic? I don't get why that's unrealistic with we can see. If he gets comfortable.
No, it depends on the team.
If he gets really comfortable and depending on the team, bro, he can average 24 points. That could be 25? Easy to him. When he could get to the basket as well. Listen, by 2 years in, and he's really comfortable with getting to the basket and getting his shot off, why can't he easily get 25 points a game? That's what I'm saying.
On the same level as Ja Morant.
But Ja's doing that now, so Ja might be even better.
At the same level as Ja Morant.
No, of course not. All
right, well, he got to take him down to 22.
Colin Sexton was averaging 24.
Ja Morant doing right now? What is he averaging right now? Like 25 right now, right?
Like 25, 7.
Okay, so if I'm saying Ben Maxey could do that in 2 years, that means Morant might be doing better than that in 2 years, right?
Morant's not. No, he's not. But
here's a good example. I think Morant can be a 30-point scorer. Yeah,
Morant is a superstar, bro. If I think Tyrese Maxey is an all-star, Morant is a superstar, bro. This is one of the next Hall of Famers. Morant is going to mark my word, one of the next Hall of Famers, bro. Yeah, definitely. And he might be. And he might. Way too far.
I don't know. Here's a good example though, because when we were talking about people were talking about the Sixers trading for Colin Sexton last season, and because he was averaging 24.5 or something, and I'm like, is Colin Sexton that good, or is he just on the Cavs? And then I did the points per minute.
Light.
Right, you got the green light. So I did the points per minute, and I just did the math of it. If Maxey was playing 36 minutes per game on a bad team, he'd average 24.5.
Yeah, definitely. But I was more so talking about progression. My knowledge is based off of if this kid continues to better his game, in the projected way he's already been doing. We saw it from going from college, not being that good of a shooter, coming in rookie year, shooting better, coming to his second year, shooting even. You know what I'm saying? So if the trajectory keeps going the way it has, I have no reason to doubt him, is what I'm saying.
Trajectory of talent, not increasing. It's not always just the numbers and scoring. So you're talking about efficiency, aggression. He's going to be smarter, but that doesn't mean he's going to average 5 more points. I don't think he's ever going to know disrespect to him. I like him.
Right. You're absolutely right about that. You're right.
Here you go. Here you go.
25.
Here you go.
No, that's way too far.
Could Maxey be? So somebody tweeted today, and I retweeted, and I said, "Calm down, my man. Calm down." My man said, he said, "I think Tyrese Maxey could be a better version of Kyrie Irving," and I was like, "Calm down, man."
Yeah, I ain't say that. See, and that's what I'm saying about Maxey.
And Daniel Hill just asked that question.
I can't even compare him to a Kyrie because we're talking about a different word of ball handler. We're talking about a guy that can get a mid range from.
So I was like, I know I don't even have to Google this, but I'm just going to look it up just because I know it was ridiculous. And Kyrie Irving at 19 years old averaged 19 points per game on 40% 3-point shooting at 19 years old, bro. He was out of control.
That was insane.
And he won 117. He won 117 out of 120 Rookie of the Year votes. Like, it was almost a unanimous. He was that good. I mean, it was obvious. He's.
Could Maxey be like CJ McCollum?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Now, if you had said that was just because here's the thing about Lou. Lou can never even convincingly be in a starting lineup. That's kind of why I didn't want to say Lou.
Whoa. He could.
He should have been on those Sixers teams.
Come on now.
No, he accepted a role, right? But you would never want to put Maxey in a role. You want him to be a starter on your team.
Reggie Jackson.
I don't know though. If you have a good team with a lot of talent, Maxey could be 6th man of the year every season if he's coming off.
Jamal Crawford, J.R. Smith. I'm going down the list.
Come on, Maxey got a bigger setter than both those guys you named, man. I don't know.
I think Maxey's 3-point shooting is something that could take it to the next level because it looks really, really good right now. I think. Yeah. Off the top of my head, or if I had to guess, I would say Lou Williams was probably like a mid 30% shooter, like 35, 36, 37, maybe. Max is shooting like 42 and a half right now.
Yeah.
We got to see it more than 1 year, though. Then that'll solidify him.
Definitely. Yeah, it definitely been one hot year.
I love the kid though, man. I'm glad we got him.
Facts.
Like a little Devin Harris. The dress.
You be throwing out names.
Tony Parker. Now we got Devin Harris.
My bad.
No, you good, hilarious. Better Kyle Lowry or for Maxey? Nah, I'm good on that.
Are we saying Kyle?
I think he's trying to say trade Maxey for Kyle Lowry. No, hell no, bro.
No, he ain't saying that. He's saying is Maxey a better version of Kyle Lowry?
Oh
yeah. Better Kyle Lowry for Maxey.
He could be.
Yeah.
It's just like Kyle Lowry was just more scrappier, like on a Pitbull side.
And a little less, yeah. And not as I would want Max to be a lot more consistent than Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry is not one of the most consistent guys that I could say out there. I would like Max to be more consistent. So yeah, he could be Kyle Lowry, but yeah, a lot better actually. I think he could be a lot better.
Lowry in his in the best years of Lowry's career, he was he was a damn good point guard. Good
3-point shooter. He maxed out at like 20, 21 points.
That's not a bad comparison, I guess. Maxey's hard. It's hard to compare Maxey to somebody because he's really
it is. He's his own guy, and that's why I think that's another good sign, though. So that might be able to tell you that we have no idea where his ceiling might actually land on, because I can't really compare the kid to anybody. Like his game is his own, man. Like he does what he's good at, and he's good at getting into the basket, finding open cut doors. Like it's kind of like he's. Rarely, this is gonna sound crazy, but the only thing I could compare him to is Steph Curry, and not because he shoots as good as Steph, it's because like he moves around. He's moving around. He can be moving around. He could get to the basket like Steph do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if his shooting will ever be that good, hell no. But I mean, he's a really active guard.
You can't even say hell no though. Shoot, you can't say hell no.
Who knows, bro? Like
this is gonna pain me to say this, but I see a lot of Allen Iverson because of his quickness, and
I do see that
his quickness and getting
not as good as handles though.
No, not even. No, you're right, not even close. No, he's not hitting.
Trey Burke.
He's not hitting people with the hezzy crossover. No,
right.
Trey Burke, it's a Trey Burke squared, Trey Burke 2.0 or something, like a better version of Trey Burke. That's for sure.
That year we had Trey Burke, Brett Brown refused to play him. And every time he got in the game, he got buckets. And then we watched him in the playoffs the next year with Dallas give the Clippers fits. And I cursed at the TV every single game.
Yep.
And that's the kind of game Maxey has. Maxey has one of those games. But his game just translated better to the NBA than Trey Burke's is. I don't think it's all Burke's fault, but Maxey higher ceiling.
In the situation Trey Burke was in, we didn't have any ball handling guards pretty much on the whole team. So as soon as he got on the floor, it was like, that's what we need. And Brett was like, nah, we're good. And then, like, you just reminded me to move on from that to another coach that's like, nah, we don't need that thing that's obviously better than what we're doing right now. I don't know. But I think AI was used in a way, you know, he was shooting like 20+ shots a game, and like a lot of scorers, like, you got to take into consideration who they played with and how many shots they were getting up,
and how they ran the team. Like you were saying, like that definitely matters. Like Allen Iverson, man, as good as he was in the Sixers, his best years, man. Imagine if he was in a really well ran system that was better than you make all the points and everybody else defend.
Yeah, because he's system player. Well, like Allen Iverson's he was a lot better of a passer than people knew about, because there was nobody ever on his team
to pass it to,
you know. Yeah. And then towards the end of his Sixers tenure, when they had Andre Iguodala, this dude was throwing no-look alley-oops from half court.
I was just seeing some I just saw some AI highlights, bro. They had some crazy hookups together, bro. They were dope together. They were. If he had him a couple years before, man, or they really got the gel together, man,
we really traded AI.
Man. We really traded AI once we got some help too. What was with this team trading somebody once it made the least amount of sense? Like, we traded Iguodala the minute he became an all-star. We traded, you know, it's crazy.
They almost traded it. There was a trade in the works. He almost got traded years before that for I forget who. It was in the works
I
and
think I know where
somebody
you're
backed
going
out.
with that. Yeah.
Like it was like he was still like in years of his prime, and they were going to pull the trigger because they knew that they failed to put players around him. Something happened, and
I know what you're talking about. I just can't think of the team.
And also, they almost had Tracy McGrady early in his career, which Tracy McGrady and Allen Iverson together would have been amazing, and they didn't pull that off either. So, just Philly sports, man.
I love this comment, though. That's funny.
This team needs a mean streak. We have nobody willing to start a fight or even get a technical.
That's why I love
we need
Mike
a Montrezl Harrell, bro.
I was about to say Mike Scott was the first person that came in my head. Listen, to be honest about the goon thing, I think that only works on really great teams, bro. You don't need
them.
Like that works when
we need them. We do need them.
You have to be a goon that can shoot.
You need a good team. You need somebody that can back it up, because what you'll get bro, you'll end up with a Patrick Beverly, bro, like a goon, and you still take the L. Like, you're still losing. Like, nobody wants that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if we're good enough, yeah, I'm fine with having some goons around. But like, nobody wants a goon, and you're everybody hates you, and then you take the L, like, and everybody gets satisfaction for beating you. Like, I don't want that. Like, I want to like be hated off the building with the W. You feel me? So I don't think this team is good enough to have a goon right now. Like, I
don't think Mike Scott really ever fit in that category. Like, the only thing goon about him was he had like tattoos up to his ears.
Yeah, that was just the last guy we considered kind of that.
He'd be down to fight anytime something popped off. He was ready to go, but like he wasn't a defensive goon. Like, he wasn't a dude.
He wasn't elbowing nobody.
Yeah, when I think of
the thing that made Draymond such an awesome goon is that they're a champion. They're a championship caliber team. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody wants a guy talking trash right in your face and starting fights, and he's pissing off the other team to beat you. Now they're ramped up, ready to whip your team's ass because this guy's pissing everybody off. Nobody needs that shit. Like, no, bro. I mean,
respectfully, Draymond looks like his breath stinks. So that alone is going to throw a player off. So I just know the validity in that tough guy stuff with him. I don't know.
Right. I'm just saying, bro, because remember what happened when Kevin Hart? Like, that's not a goon, but that's just somebody talking trash. He was talking trash, though. I forgot who they said was it KD or somebody?
D-Wade.
And then D-Wade. And then D-Wade snapped on us. We don't need that shit. We don't need somebody getting pissed off and then going off on the Sixers. Oh, no, I don't need that. No, I'm good.
That video of our guy at the Eagles game rumbling at the tailgate was crazy. Mike Scott rumbling.
Oh yeah, that's where it came from. It stuck after that. There was a goon after that.
It had to be like, they were like, all right, listen, bro, you play for Philly, we get that. One of his family members or something was like, listen, we get you play for Philly, but do not wear a Redskins jersey down there. Don't do it. And he was like, what? I'm fucking Mike Scott, bro. I'm wearing this shit. He walked right in there with that shit.
I respect it, bro.
And
right into a hook.
But my thing is, I actually been to an Eagles Redskins game, and there's plenty of people wearing Redskins jerseys. What made him get into a fight over it? That's the weird part.
He's 6'9".
He wasn't ready for there's plenty of people wearing the jerseys, but you're going to hear some shit. You're going to hear some shit when you're wearing a jersey, unless they threw out something that was like across the line. I don't, we're never really going to know what the kid said.
And Jimmy was our goons.
Jimmy was definitely our goon.
Jimmy was a goon. I don't know what you really mean by Embiid was the goon.
Billy was the
instigator. He was online talking shit. He like popping his fly, but
as soon as the fight pops off, he's like this. He's like,
I don't know if he's ever a goon, but I get what you're saying though. But Jimmy was
he wrestled cat though. That was fun.
Like, Jimmy's definitely
hilarious. No, Ben Simmons got some stripes for me that night when he had him in the cripple across face.
He did have him down there.
That was wild.
He did, man. And Ben, there's been a lot of confrontations where Ben avoids anything. Like, as soon as something pops off, he runs and walks away. Goran Dragic slapped him in the back of the head, and he didn't even. I'm pretty sure Jimmy Butler ran up.
You referenced that before. I missed that. I don't remember.
You gotta just.
I was watching that game live. It was a Saturday night.
There was like a steal, like the play before or something. I don't know. Goran Dragic was mad about something. He tripped him or something. And the next play, like, Ben,
and out of all players,
just spins around and smacks him in the back of the head. And like, Ben just walked away, and Jimmy Butler or somebody ran up and like confronted him, and it wasn't even Ben. That's the thing I always say, because it's like, You didn't even want to fight your own fight.
Because his kid's unbothered, bro. He don't have no passion for. But
in that Karl Anthony Towns like wrestling match though, he was put in a position in the middle where he had to defend himself. He was on the ground. You don't know what's going to happen down there, so he had the man in a chokehold.
Listen,
that was good stuff, man.
Yeah, 2-5 for you.
All right, Doc Rivers is in the chat.
What up, Doc?
Did he send some money tonight?
Glenn Rivers with the $20 donation. Man. Thank you, Doc.
Go ahead, Doc. Big spending Doc out here.
I'll give you your $20 back if you go to LA. Prediction: first round exit. I get paid. I go to sunny LA. I get paid more.
Yo, that's the best comment. That's a dope comment. I gotta admit.
And I go down as one of the greats. Reality. Here's some Doc change for you. Thanks, man.
Bro, to keep it $150, that's an undisputed prediction. Like, I can't even be mad at that. I really hope he's wrong about the first round exit. I'll say that much. But I mean,
thanks, Glenn.
Man, I don't know what to say. It could happen, and the part about going to LA, it definitely should happen. If we win, it probably not going to happen. That's the kind of thing we got to think about.
Well, somebody told me that
if we win, does he leave? He doesn't leave then, right?
Somebody told me that he's on a 1-year contract, and then somebody else was saying that he's on a multi-year contract.
I thought this was last year. I thought that's the only reason why this was up for debate. No, actually, he is a multi-year contract, and the only way this works if they fire him, right?
Doc Rivers signed a 5-year, $40 million contract. What?
So this only
How
works.
did I never see this?
This only
Doc
works
Rivers
if
of 5 years, $40 million. That's a Tobias
5 years of terror.
Bro, listen. The only way this happens if we don't go far in the playoffs, and that's was kind of the bittersweet moment of that realization. If we go farther enough, we're stuck with Doc Rivers as a coach.
No.
If it's a first round exit, we finally get rid of this headache and we potentially become a runnable team.
No, bro.
What?
We need to get rid of him. Either way, we need to get rid of him.
But be realistic. They're not going to get rid of him if we win, right? Why would they get rid of him then?
Because we ain't going to win because of him. We win in spite
of him. All right, so, we might as well say this is the real Doc Rivers and he knows exactly what the hell he's talking about.
I'm messing with you.
He's unrestricted in 2025. But part of it is from the Clippers, though. This is complicated. I don't know. I'm too tired to look at this math. There's a bunch of things going on with the Clippers contract, and then I don't know.
Well, didn't he get traded to Boston? Didn't he get traded from Boston?
Which one you rather, DJ? Which one you rather? You rather us go farther enough to keep Glenn Rivers here for another 4 to 3 years, or first round exit?
I honestly, what I've been seeing in the last couple of games, and then the rumors about LA, and seeing like after that Pistons game, the team looked more active. It looked like there was a lot more like creativity on the floor going on. It looked different. And then I kept seeing Dan Burke on the sideline standing up and yelling at players and stuff. And I feel like the assistant coaches were being more vocal. And then the rumor comes out that he's on a list for potential candidates for the Lakers. And like, why would that rumor come out if he was locked in here? And it just seems like the Sixers are slowly kind of like, okay, if you want to go, we're fine with the other guys.
So
you know what I mean?
So are you saying that this has the potential to happen? So you're
we're fine with the other guys. We got Dan Burke, Sam Cassell, David. We're fine, bro. You can go to LA.
So are you saying that it's a position that this is happening either way? A good playoff series or not? A good playoff run or not?
Send his old ass over there with some other theatrics.
I think he's on. I think that rumor came out because I think somebody knows something that Doc Rivers wants to go to LA. And if he wants to go, we're going to be like, all right, man, cool. We'll see you. We'll see you later. But if he wants to stay, if he gets us to the Eastern Conference Finals and he wants to stay, that's definitely going to be a thing that it's like, well, Doc got you this far and he survived the Ben Simmons thing, the James Harden thing. It's tough, man. It's like if I had a crystal ball and you told me we were going to lose anyway, I would choose to get bounced in the first round and fire Doc Rivers because I just think he's not really helping anything that's going on.
Yeah.
But I think with the input from the rest of the coaching staff and what I saw in the past 3 games, we can go really far as long as I feel like Doc has been calling these shots. Absolutely. No input from anybody else as far as the offense and game plan. Like, I really think that. He's like, defensively, whatever, man, do your thing, but don't tell me shit. And then the Detroit Pistons game happened, and it's like, now everybody's speaking up. I feel like they had a little bit of a meeting, and they were like, listen, Doc, this ain't working out, man. We need game plans from other people because that was terrible. That might be it. I don't know.
I can see that. I don't know, man. Doc,
I think we have a chance to do a lot of what I've seen in the past 3 games. I think we have a chance against anybody if the cards, if everything falls right, like you said, man. You know, luck is definitely involved with any championship team.
Yeah.
I even watched the video earlier talking about Dawn Staley being the next coach, but we'll say that for another day.
What was that? What was that laugh for? What was that laugh for, Jay?
I was just thinking. That's all good.
Hey, this is YouTube, man. Don't do it.
Yeah. No, man.
Oh man, that's good.
I like Dawn. I like Dawn Staley.
I do too. I won't lie. I think she would be better for the younger players than Doc Rivers, man. I think Doc Rivers really needs to be coaching the Lakers. Like, no BS.
Why though? Like I thought we were saying that sarcastically because we don't want him here. I just don't want him here. But why would he work in LA exactly?
He only been successful with old dudes. Look at the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
They loved him. They worshiped him at his feet.
But the thing is, I'm picturing like maybe you mean like Doc Rivers go over there and retool the roster because I'm imagining Doc Rivers with the roster they have right now and they're just as trash. Maybe even worse. If Doc Rivers is their coach, they might even been worse this season. Like, let's just think about
it. Been better.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I think he's better than Frank
Doc Rivers.
I don't know, man. I don't know. He's been trying to play freaking Carmelo Anthony in the starting lineup, bro.
He probably would.
Should have.
I don't know, man.
I don't understand the honor for Doc Rivers.
The best player is Malik Monk, and Doc would have probably never played him because he hasn't been here for 5 years. He's under 25, so Malik Monk would have never touched the damn floor, even though he's pretty much their best shooter on the team outside of Bron, and he did.
Outside of winning in Boston 1 year, I just don't understand it. He's had great players every single team he goes to, and he's blown it every single time. And then players come out every season and basically say, you know, this guy wasn't using me right, or I don't understand what was going on, or he was telling me this, and this isn't my game. And like, then I start to see it on the Sixers, and then the whole year of defending Ben Simmons and arguing with the media and trying to tell me to my face that I'm stupid for thinking a player has to shoot a basketball, for thinking that a point guard who controls the ball in the half court has to be able to shoot the ball to space the floor. He's telling me I'm stupid. And then it comes out, we're all right because it was obvious. Then he admits he was wrong, throws Ben under the bus at the press conference after Game 7. Then Ben cries about it and quits. Like, all of this stuff.
It was a mess. And it shows too that like you kind of got to take what he says in front of us with a grain of salt, because he definitely says one thing in front of the camera, whole different story behind the scenes. I think that proves it right there. There's no way he wasn't frustrated with the Ben Simmons thing, but like you say, he's a man of pride. Like Doc Rivers gets me as the type of guy, like if he was in a room with the team and they all walked out and somebody asked him what happened, he'll say, "Oh yeah, I kicked everybody out. They were getting on my nerves." Like, he's going to try to always sound like the smartest or the strongest person in the room. He's not going to be honest about the true intentions or what happened. So like, he'll act like he'll have the respect before he actually has the respect. You know what I'm saying?
And no coach is going to sit up there and say, "Yeah, he has to shoot the ball or we're screwed." Like, You know what I mean? Like nobody.
But he could have did at least what Brett was doing, which was at some point saying at least that we were working towards that. We're trying to get him comfortable with that. But acting like everybody else is crazy for even acknowledging it was like a whole different story. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah,
like,
he's kept getting mad at people for asking it. Like,
yeah, like it's a ridiculous question. Like, that's the part that made it weird. It's like, why are you going this way with it?
I also think he's too nice, and I think he had conversations with Ben, and Ben was telling him, like, listen, I'm just not comfortable yet. You know, I just don't feel okay, like, shooting the ball, like, blah. And Doc is like, all right, man, it's fine. We'll just do whatever you do, you know, take your time. And then he's in the media like, you guys don't understand what he brings to the table outside of not shooting the ball, and you all focus on, like, everybody's been too nice to Ben Simmons his whole career, man. Then this is how it ended up. This is literally like.
Must be a charming kid.
This Ben Simmons in the NBA. Ben Simmons in the NBA is a 6-year-old kid that isn't taught any discipline. Like he's gonna tear up your house. There's gonna be Chef Boyardee on the walls. There's gonna be like the trash cans upside down. The TV's laying on the floor. Like he's been babied, and this is what you got out of it.
Yeah, man, that's a fact, man. Can't wrong with that.
All right, we about to get up out of here. We've been rambling for a while, man. This is a good show, man. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. Daniel Hill, what would have
Daniel been talking to us? Shout out to Danny for talking to us all night.
Let's give Danny an MVP.
Yeah, you're talking to us.
Thank you, Daniel. Always supporting the channel. What would have happened with Maxey if 25 never quit? Would he have ever hit a chance to improve himself? Probably not, man. That's the thing about Doc. That's the big thing about Doc.
Yep.
Because Maxey stepped up in Game 6, and Doc Rivers the next game said, George Hill. It's crazy.
That was a nice situation.
It was all because we were trying to find a point guard because Ben wasn't one, and it came, everybody figured it out. So Game 5 was Shake Milton. Game 6 was Tyrese Maxey. Game 7, for some reason, was George Hill.
I really remember that vividly. Like,
I'm mad that it took. Did we ever even try Maxey at the shooting guard with Ben in the game?
They were in the game together, right? But like
it just didn't work.
The free flow wasn't the same because you couldn't honor Ben Simmons jumpy, so it wasn't the same.
Right. That's the because I'm thinking like it worked so well with Maxey and James. Why didn't it work with Ben? Duh. That's why you don't have to worry about this guy shooting. So it's just easy. It's easy at that point.
Yeah. That reminded me of Trey Burke though. The one game where Ben had a 34-point triple-double against Cleveland in 3 quarters. Trey Burke was playing the whole game, 28 minutes alongside Ben, and he had 21 points and 8 assists. It was like a perfect matchup. I'd never seen anything like it. And I was like, this is the formula for Ben Simmons. He shot a 3 in that game. Trey Burke had his game wide open. Ben was 6'10", James Harden in that game.
Wow.
And then
I remember that game. I do remember. I forgot about it, but I remember now. Yeah.
Brett was like, nah, get him out of here. Get Walmart Allen Iverson out of here.
Yeah.
I'm still getting Neto.
Yeah, that's it. Brasina Neto. Yep.
I don't know, man. Maybe playing against ball handling guards, he can open up his game. I don't know, but who knows, man? Well, watch him open up his game in Brooklyn, and
I'm very interested to see where this goes. I have no idea where this is going now. This has been one of the most unpredictable sports stories that ever been, man. You can never know. Just when you thought you know where it's going, it's like, okay, eventually he's gonna get back on the court. We're gonna see. Nope, that's not happening. Like, what happens from here? Like, what really happens from here? It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Yo, anyway, I think we covered everything, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Of course,
I appreciate
always.
it. Big STEPPA podcast. What's your sports channel called again? And I'll put it in the description.
Big STEPPA Sports Stream.
Big STEPPA Sports Stream.
Yeah, look out for follow us on Instagram so you know when we go live. We're going live a little sporadic right now, but we're going to start hitting up post games and stuff like that. So, but we have some content already up there. Watch, we'll be around. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Appreciate as always, man. Thanks for joining me. And go Sixers, man. We'll see what happens.
Thanks for joining
us every day.
All right.
Thank you, everybody in the chat. Hit the like button. Peace.